Good morning, beautiful friends. How are you doing today? Today we are in the city of KARS, eastern Turkey, right at the border with Armenia. In this series, we're gonna be traveling throughout Turkey, so join me on this adventure. Today we are gonna visit the city of Ani, an abandoned Armenian village by the border. Join me on my journey. Let's see what we find. We got a new friend, as always. Hello. Hey. Yo, take a look at this. The walls of the ancient kingdom of Bagratid, the ancient Armenian kingdom back in the 10th century. Once it was in its full glory, here were the gigantic walls. Super beautiful. We have a Turkish babushka sitting there, just chilling. Oh man, this really feels like a video game. Which way should we go? Right or left? You decide. Let me know, let me know, let me know. We're going left. It really feels like Breath of the Wild. Like that Zelda game where you can go anywhere. It's like a giant playground. All these giant ruins. I absolutely love this. Incredible weather too. Sometimes it's just good to sit down in the grass for a bit and relax and just take in the air and the atmosphere and the flowers and the annoying fly that's circling me. We've seen so many monasteries through our journey through Armenia. So what's one more? For old time's sake. They're always super beautiful, so let's check it out. Here are some good old Armenian mosaics. Let's go inside now. These never fail to amaze me, even though they're a bit worn out due to age and vandalism, but you can still see a lot of what's happening here. There's Jesus for sure. Here are some of the apostles, and Christ would have stood right there at the center. You can still see a very, very big outline of his face. This is the Church of the Holy Mother of God, the biggest cathedral here in Ani. Ani is known as the city of 1,001 churches. I mean, it's a bit of an exaggeration because they've only found 50 churches and 53 chapels, I believe, but still quite a lot. What an impressive building. This cathedral actually befell a similar fate to Hagia Sophia. When the Seljuk Sultan came and conquered Ani, he turned this cathedral into a mosque. Turkic empires just really had a thing to turn cathedrals and churches into mosques. That's just how they did things back then. This may look like a prison tower, but it's actually a minaret. This is a real mosque, not like the cathedral. This was actually built as a mosque. It's one of the most peculiar towers I've seen. We are now on top of the highest castle. That was quite a climb. There's some gnarly animals behind these stones and grass. What absolute madman built that in the middle of this bend. So gorgeous. The city of Ani used to house 100,000 people. So why is it empty today? Well, several factors. First of all, it got invaded quite a lot. First by the Mongols, then by the Seljuks, then by the Ottomans, and then the Russian Empire later on. Also, it suffered through an earthquake which devastated the city. And worst of all, it became economically irrelevant. The worst fate that can happen to a trading route, since new trading routes started opening around Ani, so it was just not that important anymore. People started abandoning it. By the 17th century, it was just irrelevant, but today it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and it's such a marvelous place, beautiful nature. I totally recommend. It's completely worth your time that you come to KARS so you can see this place. Now let's go explore the city. You know, Turkey is the land of mosque, and this is an Armenian church. rebuilt, repurposed as a mosque. The Ottomans were quite resourceful. So our friend in the mosque told us that this room was added by the Russians when they invaded this city in KARS, and they made a little priest house on the other side. But then I'm guessing it was turned back into a mosque. I'm not sure by who exactly, because Ataturk would not do that. So it was probably a few years ago that it was turned back into a mosque, just like Hagia Sophia. We are on top of KARS Kalesi, or the KARS Castle, with a beautiful view. I think this is a very underrated city, to be honest, because you can see the beautiful green hills, kind of like the Microsoft background, if you remember that, with the colorful roofs. You can see some Russian influence as well, so it's a mix between Russia and the Ottoman Empire and Armenia. Quite an interesting combination. You hear that sound? The Azan, the call to prayer. So you better get to the mosque right now. Pause the video and get to the mosque because it's Azan time. I love how it resonates through the hills. What a spectacle, really. Prepare to be blown away. You know, the Turks were turning everything into a mosque. Armenian churches, Greek churches, but have you ever seen a Russian Orthodox church turned into a mosque? Look at all these kids playing ball in front of the house of Allah. Quite a beautiful design. Very turquoise. There's definitely not too many traces of the Russian church that it used to be. It's not like the Armenian churches that you could still tell it was a cathedral inside. These Turks are tripping. Have you ever seen a seagull telephone? Hello? What should I get to eat today? That sounds like a good idea. Have you ever tried pide? I'll show you what it is. It's really good. It's a staple of Turkey. First off, we start with this beautiful salad. This is pide, a pastry that developed in the coast of the Black Sea back in the 1800s, when bakers realized that you can stuff the dough with a filling. This is a beef sausage, before putting it in the oven. So it's like a Turkish flatbread. It's quite delicious and something you need to try when you come to Turkey. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on this adventure through KARS. It's only the beginning of a Turkish road trip, so join me on the next adventures. Be sure to like if you liked the video, or subscribe if you want to keep up with these awesome road trips. See you next time.